Hello, everybody. What is up, my gangsters and my... I'll stop saying that sentence. I'm just waiting like 10 seconds to see if... Oh, yeah, I've gone live. Cool. Right, hi, everyone. It's Andy. It's Glass. It's GHD. Hey, Bruce, what's up? Oh, sorry, music. There you go. So, as you know, last week I did 2 weeks ago I did a hobby hangout, and I literally did zero hobby. Zach Aldridge, a fellow roadman there, good to see you, my man. So I decided this time, let's just give up with the whole concept of hobby. I'm not a hobby channel. I hate hobby. I love hobby. I hate painting. Very different things. Morning for you, Nicks. Gosh, it's definitely not morning here. I had a nap. Like, I've just woken up. That's how, it's been a weird day. Anyway, hello Matt, hello the Venudo. What's up, everyone? And obviously, hello Zingbo. So today, I thought let's kind of lean into what my channel is a bit more than hobby. You guys can still hobby. I guess that's why it still would be called a hobby hangout, right? Hello, Johnny McLoda. Hello, Do-So-One. It would be you hobby, I hang out. And I'm just going to completely give up the pretense of me ever touching paint while on camera. And that is 100% me. I really struggle to multitask. It just doesn't work for me at all. So, for example, if I ever, talking is a task for me. I cannot talk and do anything else at the same time. Some people do a podcast while hobbying. That's mad to me. So we do have, just show you around again. We do still have this setup here, but I'm not going to use it. It's there, but I'm not going to use it. That's set up the hello, Kill Team Ken, circle hello, sorry, good to see you. So that setup there is Academic Chris 199, thank you so much. Love to see more Kit Bash ideas. Okay, now that's hobby I can just randomly ramble on about for ages. But let me quickly finish my thought, because this is where I get wildly off track. This setup here, let me go back to this overhead. Here. This is a game I recorded, the patrons, it's up for you guys. It's an unedited battle report. Played it yesterday against Jack, who probably won't be in this stream because he's playing Baldur's Gate 3. And it was actually a good game. I played Kassakin into his Hearthkin, really good. Won't tell you how it ends, but this microphone wasn't working. So all of my audio sounded like it was really far away because it was actually coming through his microphone. Why? I have no idea. But when I played 2 days ago against Kill Team Ken into his commandos, my mic was totally fine, and now, totally fine. It just decided to not work. Unfortunately, against Ken there, I played Felgor into his commandos, and I misplayed so many times, got rules wrong, that I was just like, there's no point actually editing this into a viewable thing for the main chan. So that's a bit of a letdown, unfortunately, on me there. Anyway, Volpsnick, someone with bad anxiety, talking is a large task for me too. I can't even blame anxiety. I'm just not good at remembering things. Yeah, I don't have the mental capacity to do more than one thing at a time, quite genuinely. And these days, even that one task is not easy. You've got to rub oil and say, yes, quite genuinely, Matt, that might be the only reason. And as funny, so when it comes to the Adeptus Mechanicus, I don't know, they're fine, I guess. But I actually I totally relate to them in the sense of, you know, to me they're a joke. They're a joke faction, as all of 40k is inevitably a joke faction. And to me, the joke of AdMech is that, no, that's actually how, you know, people that don't know how tech work now do, you know. Okay, we don't rub holy oils and spirits, but we do pray. Like we say, you know, like essentially we say an incantation that has no effect on the machine, it's probably swearing at it, and then we hit it and then it works. And we're like, yes. And we think that because we muttered some words and hit it, that's why it worked. But it's like, no, because you turn it off and on again. That's why it worked. So I actually, in a sense, really enjoy the stupidity of AdMech as a faction. So yeah. Anyway, yes, Chris, kit bash ideas for the hobby. So many. Oh my gosh. But I get too many, if I'm honest. I wish I could stick to one thing. Like, I know that you've seen it, Chris. You know, it's been in multiple of my videos. My Void Dancer team, I have them right there. They're lovely models. They're really nice. They're Blood Bowl conversions that I did for the last edition of Kill Team. Still valid, but I just one day decided I don't like these. And so I bought two, you know, I spent like 50 quid buying, no, it must have been like 80, 70 quid? 80? So I went out and I bought 2 boxes of Drukhari Helions, and I bought Lilith Hesperax, and I bought a Succubus, and I said I'm going to do some weird, Christ, I need help, proxy team of Helions, like all on. That was a good looking team actually. Unfortunately, I don't think I'd have to really run that past a TO, actually. Oh, you know what? I will. What's up, Jin? Word up, indeed. I'm considering going to a tournament in Poland in October, and I don't know what I'm going to play, but Void Dancers are definitely on the table. And actually, if they're on the table, I might run it by the TO and see if he's okay with me taking those converted proxies, whatever you want to call them, Drukhari Helions instead of my Void Dancers. Interesting. Anyway, right, hey, so it's been like, you know, 8 minutes-ish. Big-ish. So that means if you're subscribed to my channel and you're here watching me right now, I'd like to give you a big double hello. Wow, wasn't that so wholesome? You know, it always feels a little bit weird saying this live, but hey, if you like what I do, consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, all that awesome, great stuff. The wholesomeness knows no bounds in the world of Glass Half Dead. Doesn't really make sense why I'm called Glass Half Dead, but there's a reason, I'm sure. And, you know, if you really like what I do, consider checking me out on Patreon, because I do things over there too. So there you go. For example, just this week, the patrons have been given 2 unedited battle reports. The first one was an hour and a half against Ken. The second one was, I think, 2 hours 15 into Jack there. That was really good. They were 2 solid games. If you're looking at... it doesn't have mass market appeal, right? So if I just put it onto the channel, it wouldn't really get many views. And unedited battle reports are never really... it's all from this. These are the 3 angles you get. So this one up here, so you see both of us. This one here, but pointed at the board so that you get a cool secondary angle. And then this one here is the dice cam, right? And then it's just on that for the whole time. And I would recommend watching them if you're trying to learn the game, actually. Because we go through... So, we don't go through beginner rules, right? We're not saying, how do you move, right? But we do go quite fully through like our thinking. And like, oh, I might do this, I might do that. So as an intermediate player, I think actually unedited battle reports are really good. They're not great if you're a beginner, you're going to be lost. And if you're a pro player, you probably don't really, you know, we're not pro players. So we're not giving you the hottest tips out there. But yeah, Anyway, all right, that's my Patreon. Cool. Not void losers anymore. Always void losers. Yes. However, I have accepted that when I play Kill Team, I just like 3 APL. And that means I'm limited to 4 factions. Intercession, Legionaries, Phobos, Void Dancers. And that's it. Although, in fairness, Corsairs with a dash, practically 3 APL too, so I could also play them. Oh man, such an elf lover, right? I am actually, so that totally tracks. Jim, what was hilarious was your unedited attempt at intro. Oh yeah. So when I'm doing these unedited battle reports, I'm doing them as if I will edit them. So I'm doing in camera, you know, like, hello, welcome to Glass Half Dead, I'm Andy, blah blah blah. But then I'm also, if I mess up, I just keep in, because I know I'll edit it out if it matters. So I had to redo my intro like 4 times. It's cringe, mate. Zingbo, 30 people were watching, only 8 likes. Give me a boost, like, emotionally, please. That would be great. Leonidas, thank you so much for liking. I don't really know what it does, but it's probably good for the algorithm. Corsairs are freaking awesome. I agree. Have I ever played them? I've played them once when they released. And I think that battle report's even on my channel. And that's it. So I would have seen the rules very briefly, played them, and then not touched them since. 42 people in the stream. Hello everyone, big up. Right, so just so you know, I do have a few topics. It's not just a total rules ramble. They just announced the annual, so let's have a look at that. The annual is a thing that we are going to discuss. Ooh, here we go, I'm in the corner. Nice. I'm very small, but that's true to life. Oh, look at that, 1-to-1 scale now. Great. So, very quickly, let's go have a look. In case you haven't seen it, they just announced the Sunday pre-orders for next Saturday, and we've been shown. So, this again, which is good because now you can actually buy these suppressors. There was no way to buy them until now. Everything else is buyable in other ways. This character is in a blister pack. Eliminators, they're a box, and then Phobos and Cursors, whatever they are. But suppressors you could not buy. Cool. This Captain with Relic Shield and Lieutenant with Storm Shield. I guess this guy was in Indomitus only, and I don't know where this guy, he was probably Indomitus only, but he was able to be gotten in other ways too. He's actually the basis for my Death Guard model. So, let's power through. I guess Master of Possession wasn't able to be purchased individually, which is crazy, but he's there. That's good. And then we get to the annual 2023. So, I'm only going by what it says here in the article, right? So, firstly, 296 pages. That's real big. However, they pretty much confirm it here. 10 kill teams, all of which are pictured on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's all of the Into the Dark season, plus the Ashes of Faith teams. Oh, I know what people are going to ask. People are going to say, you know, you hear it every year. They say, as long as they've put in the FAQs, I guess it's okay. They haven't put the FAQs in. We all know it, all right? I mean, we don't know it, but we know it, right? Like, they just haven't. Let's be honest. This thing gets sent to print, you know, a year and a half ago. So, yeah, nothing's in print will have been updated. I guarantee that whatever's in here is almost, you know, it's going to be exactly what's in the books that they should have been from. So, very interesting there. Also, somebody noted, hold on, let me go back to chat so I haven't missed too much. New Custodes team. We wish, right? I'd love a Custodes team. Give me that 4 APL team. I'll never play anything else. I just finished painting my Corsairs and played 8 or so games with them. Finally found a team I'm going to major on. That's awesome. Great. Those Space Marines will look good in green. I love a good brown Space Marine for sure. Corsairs fast, evening, or hello Sam. CodeMac, do you have the annual? No, I do not. Unless they've been holding on to the FAQ updates for months, that book's already out of date, lol. Yes, for sure. If they put in the FAQs and then we had FAQs that apply to one edition of the rules and not the other, that would in the long run. So yes, that is also potentially true. But don't they already haven't they already had to do that for like one of the teams? I can't remember who it was. Yeah. So the White Dwarf teams. I swear at one point they put in update to both White Dwarf, whatever issue, and the annual. But then they stopped that because they swapped over to a new way of giving out balance updates and FAQs of answers. Maybe. I could be misremembering. Life is pain. So who knows. Painting up 3k points of Sisters of Silence for AJ. Oh my gosh. Firstly, don't play Horus Heresy. Secondly, that's a lot of sisters. But you know what? Cool. Nice. Please include sisters for future Custodes talents for the Emperor team. You know they won't, right? Like, hey, we just heard Volps Nix has just painted 3,000 points of Sisters of Silence. Cut them from the game. Yeah. Guaranteed. Right. So that's the annual. And then it also implies that there's, here, everything else. So I imagine what they've done is they've taken the 4 books plus Ashes of Faith? Would they give us the Ashes of... No, they wouldn't give us the Ashes. Maybe. Maybe it has the Ashes of Faith narrative stuff in here as well, and like print out cards for it. I don't know. So 10 kill teams, 45 missions, 5 kill zone terrain expansions, and a gripping Spec Ops campaign to play through. Okay. Cool, I guess. I mean, if you view the close quarters rule set as its own thing, then honestly, this isn't the craziest thing. And let's be honest, well, let's be honest in 2 ways. Firstly, stock has been in such short supply, a lot of people do not have these books. A lot of people want these books, right? This is a way you can buy it. However, let's also be honest, you know, we're all just using Wikipedia or KT Dash, aren't we? So, we have the rules, and there are resources out there that allow us to get these rules in other ways, but you know, it's still nice to have an annual. And I will say, again, over this last week where I was playing so let's think, I think 2 weeks ago I played Exaction Squad for the first time, and then I played Felgor Ravagers, well, for the second time, but essentially the first time. And for both of those, what did I do? I needed to figure out how to play them. What do? Okay, it's great to have Wikipedia open on the phone or the tablet, but actually having some data cards or a book there really helpful. So obviously I went to Phil Team and downloaded the Exaction Squad and the Felgor Ravagers to play them, and having data cards is so good. And I really learned that from trying to play 40k. Like, me trying to play 40k without the data cards, impossible. Impossible. So, right. Sorry. I guess you still need the main rules. 100% Cracker Mat, yes. This won't have the core rules. That's not what the annual does. This isn't like everything. This is just the teams. Orange Ashes of Faith book, but not red is my guess. Okay, yeah. 5 expansions must include Ashes. So it definitely has the teams. We can see on the front. I don't know what it has other than that. Building the file kill team box. Just got Ashes done, and then my roof flew off. Unfortunate. Sorry, man. I'll just wait for the Man Reads book, then decide. Might not get it, but okay. Evening all, just popping in to say hi before running off to play Rune Quest. Never heard of it, but sounds very fancy. Nice. Patrick, that's all for all the kill teams, okay. There's a definite implication they're not, but fingers crossed for Pat. Right, and then we just get the Felgor Ravagers, the Hand of the Archon, the Hearthkin Salvagers, the Inquisitorial Agents, and the Gallowfall upgrade pack. So that's nice, I guess. I guess the only interesting thing is that I saw this post be released on their Facebook first, and one of the first questions was, that's great, but when are we getting the rules for Hand of the Archon squad for 40k? And they haven't responded. And it is quite interesting. I am quite curious when they will give them that, because if you open the 40k indexes now, Felgor Ravagers are there. Hearthkin Salvager squad not. Inquisitorial Agents are there. So Hearthkin Salvagers and Hand of the Archon are two teams that have not been given a thing. Also, just noticing here, sorry, maybe I'm... Hand of the Archon came out with Exaction Squad, right? Yeah. But they're not releasing the Exaction Squad individually? Yeah, because Felgor Ravagers came out with Hearthkin. Inquisitorial Agents came out with Chaos Cults, but Chaos Cults are their own thing, already exist. So Hand of the Archon came out alongside Exaction Squad, but they're not releasing the Exaction Squad. Caskin have already been released, but are impossible to get hold of. Okay. Weird, right? Very weird. Anyway. I've started my Imperial Knight. I've had some excellent Imperial Knights, are awesome teams. Exaction was already released. Great. Okay. I missed it, obviously, but that's good. I suppose they will package these larger teams in a single box. They will never package these larger teams in a single box. Oh, Inquisitorial Age. What's the other one? Chaos Cults? No, because they already exist. We don't need them as a single box, to be honest. Cool. That's kind of it for the Sunday preview. Everything else is Horus Heresy, which of course is terrible. Okay. I'm not saying that their character models look bad. Obviously, I would love to have, that's a really cool model, but Horus Heresy is a concept. It's terrible. There you go. And I'll stand by that. Even if yeah, forever. Just like right now, I'm thinking of playing Void Dancers. I'll still say they're a terrible team and shouldn't be played and should be nerfed. Just because I can't win with them. Cool. Right, so that's the Sunday preview. That's cool. I suppose I just want to say one quick thing that isn't Kill Team related. I apologise. I don't know if anybody's actually paying attention to Age of Sigmar, but they are doing this cool thing with this, like the Hammer Hall Herald. Like, it's all pretty fun. It's lovely artwork as well, very fancy, but mixed with that high fantasy, low fantasy, high fantasy. Let's not get into those definitions. It just really looks really cool. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I imagine, if I had to guess, because I don't know, this is pure speculation now, but I don't get sent Age of Sigmar stuff, but I imagine that, the army box for Sigmar is, for Cities of Sigmar is in creators' hands, but I'll have to just hope I can get a hold of it, like everybody else, but they look cool. They look really cool. Part of me, because I get these ideas, part of me really wants to just grab like a Soulblight Gravelord's army and a Cities of Sigmar army and just pretend I'm still playing Old World, How could you miss it? They were so low in the meta, I would have assumed Yeah, true, good point. Because I already had them, that's why. So I don't need another one. And I'd already kit bashed the extra bodies that I needed. Finally, solid middler. Finally, I can go ahead and hide my shameful Cavalry Warriors kit bash attempt at making Hand of the Archon. Not at all. Keep them. Keep them. I kit bashed mine. I still have my my Hand of the Archon sprue untouched because I kit bashed all of mine for much more money. I had to go and buy an Archon and a Homunculus and a rack just to use, yeah. Inquisitor agents not playing out of one box is going to trick and annoy at least some new players. Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's not a one-box team. Interesting. I wonder if... I mean, it would have said there in that article that if Sisters of Silence or Scions came with it, like it came with the Ashes of Faith box, but clearly they don't, which is unfortunate, probably, I would suspect. Oh well. Wait, Agents box doesn't come with any ancillary? They would have said there, right? They're not going to... Yeah. They would have said there. Sean from Austin Power 40k just made a tier list. Tyranny Compendium is in A. Hey, you know, personally, I really like the Tyranny Compendium. It's a really solid team. It's not A tier, but it's definitely, you know, top of the compendium. But awesome. You know, some people have a lot of success with it, just like some people have a lot of success with Death Guard. You also hear, you know, rumours of Craft World Eldar doing good. Yeah. Like, I have considered taking Tyranids to this Polish tournament that I'm going to. I know that it wouldn't go well for me, but you never know, could be fun. The Sigmar newspaper is fun, reminds me of the Mordheim one. Yes, exactly, yeah. Unfortunately, I think at the time I was too young to really be into, like, the Town Crier or whatever, the Mordheim Crier or whatever it would have been called, to actually read them or remember them, but yeah. Would you agree with Nids being competitive? I personally have to play the team. Right. I kind of just answered that, didn't I? So, yes, I think that of the compendium teams, they're a great team to run, for sure. And you will be able to get some wins against some more beginner spec teams, for sure. Like, no question there. I don't really know their damage profiles, so I don't know what they play well into. In spec team wise, but yeah, good team. But you know, like all spec comp teams, compendium spec specialists, yeah, like all comp teams, they're not quite going to. I feel like A tier is a tier that you can reliably win a tournament on, so I would not put them in A tier. Is all I can say. I don't think you can, but it depends how you're defining A tier in your tier list. So seems fine. Sigmar, damn you spell check. Yes. I'm still waiting for the bespoke Tyranids kill team. Aren't we all, good sir? Aren't we all? Say, what would it even be? It could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. That's the problem with speculation in kill team. They could just give us... So we've seen that new Tyranid box, right? Gene Stealer's box. They could just give us that. We haven't seen the sprue, so it could be that just gets... that has built into it, much like the Halfkin salvages, lots of extra bits that we can make into our specialists, or the kill team version would go ahead and have an expansion sprue in it, released separately from the 40k kill team, the 40k box. The speculation is absolutely endless, but who knows? The only rumours we've had about Tyranids is from Valrak saying Space Hulk is coming, and who knows, like I know nothing, I have no rumours about this at all, apart from that one-off Valrak thing. Valrak's really good when he gets close to a release, but before a release, he's very wild with his speculation. And it seems just bizarre to me that they would release a kill team version of Space Hulk that isn't in the Into the Dark season, so I imagine that's just Space Hulk being re-released, which is something GW needs to do at some point anyway. Why change the rule set so drastically that it's no longer Space Hulk, you know? So, who knows? Didn't have the bits to make a Hero Drukhari kit bash and never collected space cells before. Oh, fair. Neither did I. I had to buy everything because I'm obsessive. I made about 2 operatives and stopped when I realised I don't have any more Drukhari bits. Fair. Outside of the Cabalite Warriors boxes. Fair enough. Also, question, have you tested Hearthkin since the buffs? I ran a game with my friend and found that they have a large mental load even to play, but they seemed like a bad version of Tau. So yes, I played against Hearthkin just yesterday. For the alcoholics out there, this is Pepsi Max. No caffeine, so don't get triggered. Yes, I played against them with my Kassakin yesterday. I was just saying this in my little hello spiel. If you're a patron, you have access to 2 unedited battle reports at the moment. One of them I did yesterday, which was, wait, it's Sunday today. Yes, I recorded it yesterday. Is it Sunday? Yes, time, it's painful. Sorry, as I'm talking and no longer reading the article, I'll bring the website back up in a sec, but while I'm just reading chat, I'll be here full screen. Sorry. Yeah, played yesterday. So my patrons currently have access to an unedited battle report where I was playing Kassakin into the new Hearthkin. That was yesterday. And then on, I think it was Wednesday, I recorded a battle report. This was 1-2 days after the Balanced Day slate where I played Felgor Ravagers into Commandos. So those are both up for my patrons at the moment. Thoughts on the new Hearthkin? They are a faction. Yeah. They're not, I don't know, I don't feel... 8 wounds, absolutely mandatory. Can't be 7 wound, 10 model team. Just doesn't work in kill team. The new grudge buff is useful in that you can give it out without having to activate your leader first. It just happens in the strat phase. But honestly, I don't think they've really changed much. I think they're still pretty bottom tier. Yeah. I think there are enough teams out there that they are never going to do well in a meta. Yeah. In a large meta. I mean, obviously, who knows? Maybe if you've got a top player playing them, and they have a restricted meta, so they don't have to go into maybe their worst matchups. I don't know, just talking generically here. Then they'd be absolutely dominating in a certain space. But in reality, no, I don't think Hearthkin have moved up a tier, if you want to view it that way. Really, the question is, have Warp Cover moved up a tier now that they can access Recon? Have your views in 40k matured at all? They have. As one of my patrons, I feel like I would have mentioned it in one of the videos, but I never know where or when I've said things, so I'll say them now. However, how would you kit bash an Imperial Chaos cult? Cordor gangers as cultists, of course, are... Right, so you're wanting them to remain very... So, this is possibly one of my problems. When I hear Imperial Chaos cult, I say, oh, well... I mean, you just go with Imperial Guardsmen. Like, you don't need to, you know, that's fine. You don't need to do anything more with the Imperial Guardsmen, do you? Oh, I guess you'd want them to have pistols and chainswords, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want them to have their las guns. So you've got to find a model. It could be literally any 25mm base model that has... pistol and close combat, and Imperial. I guess you are kind of, weirdly, most Imperials, 25mm bases, just thinking about it. Yeah, they are all guns. And then as soon as you want any sort of pistol with close combat weapon on a 25mm base, you're immediately into Chaos, or anything from Necromunda. So yeah, I guess you'd have to go with some sort of Necromunda. Then you've got to figure out what's a 40mm base. So you're looking at Ogryns, or again, if you want to stick with Necromunda, you could go with the Ambots, I guess. Like you buy a box of Ambots and a box of their slave Jotun Ogryns. That gives you 4 models, so 1 more than you need, but 2 isn't enough. So that would give you a nice little mix. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. And then I guess for the mutant version would just be something. Oh, I guess you could swap. You swap from Cawdor up to Redemptionist, right? Because then you keep the theme, but you are the upgrade, maybe. Although I'm actually not sure if the Redemptionists have pistol and close combat weapon, but you would have spares from the Cawdor Ganger box, so you could just make that work, probably. Don't know. I don't know how you would keep that theme and go to a 40mm base, and I guess you really want the Redemptionists to be the Dark Commune, don't you? Pass. There you go. I'm not sure what I'd do for the mutants. Oh, you've said they're Arcoflagellants. That makes total sense. Why? Yeah. Sorry. So for Torments, yeah, I'd probably just go with heavily converted Ogryns, probably. For me. Mutants and Torments already come in a box. Yes, they do. Warp Coven just doesn't feel good if the opponent just plays Intercessor or Legionary and knows to just target the sorcerers until they're dead and you're afraid of it. Yes. Sadly, I do think that Warp Coven are not very good. Still, sadly, yeah. Even though, when I said at the beginning of this stream, I said, there are only 4 APL3 teams. The 5th is obviously Warp Coven, which I just didn't even entertain playing. Awkward. Very awkward. Sorry, let me have a quick look. Cool. Right. 55 people in the chat. Hello. Welcome. I drink to you. Did you know that Coke has an acidity of 2.7? That is about the same as stomach acid, sorry. Same as vinegar. So from an acidity perspective, you're just drinking straight vinegar here. Cool. All right. So 40 minutes in. How we vibing? How's the hobby going? Aren't all kill teams like that though? Solid. Yes. Hello, Blitz the Airsofter. It's such a shame that they don't do Airsoft 40k, right? Like everyone's role-playing. I guess you'd want to be gangers from Necromunda. It wouldn't really work out of one tiny 3mm pellet coming out of a bolt gun, right? Take out a few operatives and they start to fall apart. Yes, right. Sorry, Jin, you asked my views on 40k. So, okay, well there you go. 2 people have asked me about 40k. I guess I have to talk about it. The Gothic Realm's cool name. Right, so, for those of you not my patrons, I actually did like a 15-minute video or so of me giving my first thoughts about 40k. After playing a bunch of games, both at Combat Patrol 1k and 2k, and it was purely, so I wrote the script and then I just read the script off, and I was very clear that I was reading a script because it's a script that I might make a video of, you know, and I was very negative. Like my initial impressions of 40k are very, very negative towards the game. And I guess I'm purely talking about the mechanics of the game and how they make me feel. Obviously, the hobby, the models, the connection with the community, everything outside of the game, everything that the game gives to you that isn't the game is very positive, and I have no negatives about that sort of thing, right? My GF is stabbing me in the ribs because we're supposed to be planning the summer holiday. More like plan the kill team holiday, mate. Am I right? So, but then I was also very clear at the end of that little script that at the moment, I am not actually decided on my thoughts. I haven't like closed myself off. Now, I would say that the only reason I haven't closed myself off is twofold. One, because it would be really, really, really beneficial to me to like the game as a content creator. There would be no negatives to me liking the game as a content creator. I already buy so many models and don't do content for it. So it's not like would suddenly start investing loads of money that I'm not already. It's like, nope, I already do loads. You know what I did today? I sprayed up a whole load of big bugs for Tyranids because big bugs are cool. So there's a huge amount of bias in my thoughts towards 40k, and they are only towards I should like 40k. However, I don't. And that's a bit of an issue. So the bias at this point is just stopping me from... The bias isn't making me like it. It's making me try to like it much, much more than if I didn't have a bias. Any other game, any other activity, I would not be doing this much whilst disliking it to hope that I find liking it, you know? Is it legal for two homies to hold hands? Is it legal for two homies to hold hands? Of course. It also makes them gay, but that's fine. Isaac, you need to leave, man. You're going to get me in trouble. So, when it comes to 40k, the only thing I can say is that I have played one game that I truly enjoyed, and that is positive, and that has happened since I wrote that script and let my patrons hear my initial thoughts, which is obviously a good sign. It was a 1k game, and yes, obviously 1k plays faster than 2k. That is part of the reason, undoubtedly, why it was more palatable, shall we say. But it wasn't just that it was a shorter game. It took 2.5 hours, whereas my 40k games take 5 hours, so half the time, fair enough. But also, it didn't feel like it was 2.5 hours. Whereas every 40k game I've played felt like it has been a lot longer than 5 hours, let's just say that. Right, sorry. I missed a bunch of stuff. So, things are currently looking up, as in there's a glimmer of hope that I might one day like 40k. Yes, I get it's more extreme as they're an elite team, just feel that talking about Warp Covenant, cool. 40k is just so expensive and time consuming, especially if you want to play competitively. Agreed. Yes, 100%. 100%. I have never played 40k until now. The simple rule set has offered me a way. Oh, that's awesome. Great. Great to hear. Got to try 40k with house rule alternating activation sometimes. My view on custom rules is why not just play a better game altogether, if I'm honest. If you want content, you may want to consider a Deathwatch RPG campaign. Give some friends a single Deathwatch Marine and throw some nids at them. I'm working rules for it and it's fun so far. So, I intend to do 2 videos, maybe 1 video, on custom rules, which will be a boss battle and a horde mode. They could be other people play them, but if I'm honest, getting other people together is the hard part of playing games and making content. It's why I don't do more like battle reports and stuff. The admission to not liking 40k is when someone doesn't agree with some cultural issue. I literally have no idea what that means. Just to clarify, I actually don't know. Found this because I was watching your Kill Team video trying to figure out if I messed up buying a Kill Team Phobos Strike Team box. Goodbye, Hugh. What's wrong? Kill Team Phobos Strike Team box is a great box. Phobos are a great team. Yeah, hopefully. I feel like I've missed your point, but Phobos, good team. I was watching your kill team video, trying to feel like I messed up. You should be in the right. Good stuff. Got to dash take it. Yeah. Acidity of soda, I do enjoy drinking straight pickle juice. Hardcore, fair enough. Damn. Have you discussed the kill team manual? Corky, yes, I already did. I'm getting caught up with chat, but yes, behind me, my alternate view today, instead of being this, is this. So yep, in a sec, I'm actually. You know what? I'll show you what's coming up next. I planned. We're going to be looking at the BCP. We're going to take a quick look at some pairings, and see some podiums, see what's going on. You know, brain's a bit slow from allergy meds. Not a problem, Steve. It's all good. Hope you enjoy the new Phobos. I really want to play Phobos at the moment. Actually, I'm not going to lie. They seem quite fun, but I'm kind of trying out a whole load of different teams at the moment, with the intent of eventually going to Poland in October to do a team tournament. And so I need to pick like a good team that I can play so that I don't let my team down. And so I'm trying some of the better teams. And Phobos is the one team I can't play because my team partner's going to play Phobos. So they are out because in the team tournaments you can only take one of each faction. So Phobos is the one team I can't play, which is a shame. Mass, I guess where I'm coming from is if you lose half your team, you'll always be in trouble. That is factually correct. Didn't you play AOS? I did, yes. I think AOS, so Games Workshop shares a lot of design conventions among all of its games. So if you know how to play the new 40k, you essentially know how to play Age of Sigmar, and vice versa. Yes, there are differences and there are subtleties and nuances and nooks and crannies and crevices to get lost in, but actually you're really not far off. Oh God. As I discovered when I started reading through, I don't have it here, the Dead Zone rulebook to try and learn and play my first game of Dead Zone in ages from Mantic Games there, and they just have a very different design convention. But if you know a GW game, you know a GW game. I quite like Sigmar's complete lack of rerolls. Let me tell you that. I don't know why. It's just a bugbear of mine. But I really do quite like how in Sigmar, just whatever you roll is whatever you roll. I think for a CP you can reroll one charge roll a turn, and that's it. But there's no like reroll auras. There's no faction, Eldar, who absolutely specialise in rerolls. There's no Oath of Moment where it feels like every model in your army gets a reroll. There's no, hey, look through your index, see which of your character gives the reroll aura to their leaders, and then take 3 of them, right? Because that's what 40k is, really. In Sigmar, you just roll. And then the dice are the dice. And there's something quite nice about that. It does give it a slightly different feel, but whatever. I don't really know why I didn't continue with it, to be honest, but as I've said, at the moment I'm not looking to play another niche game. If I were to play another game properly, it would be 40k. And there's a lovely idea that I could just be the skirmish channel. That would be awesome. But if you go and look at, for example, Mountainside Tabletop, who also do Warcry battle reports and now Shatterpoint battle reports, their videos, for those who still don't get great views, you know, they get good views, like, you know, for their channel, but they're not anywhere near the kill team things view counts. So for them, the Warcry and the Shatterpoint are a passion project, essentially. whereas they make their bread and butter from Kill Team. So for me, I couldn't really just be the skirmish channel. Anyway, went off on a weird side tangent there. Warcry, nice. Yeah, I think one thing that pretty much everybody agrees is that the Sigmar range of models is absolutely phenomenal. They've done a great job. Yeah. Rerolls kill the game for me. Yeah, the rerolls suck. If I'm honest, the rerolls suck in 40k. I was quite hyped when they said this is an addition of less rerolls. It's not at all. Or maybe I've just played the wrong teams. But let me tell you this, playing my main opponent, Wes, who seems to only like playing Marines and Eldar, those are the reroll factions. And I'm just, he rerolls everything. It's like, oh, this sucks if I'm honest. Like, he ends up with full rerolls on like everything. It's really frustrating actually. Anyway, don't the Zinch teams in AOS have some kind of dice manipulating thing similar to Eldar? I don't know. Pass. They might do. But you know what? If it's one faction, fine, I guess. As long as it's not too strong, it is what it is. But have you played Mesp? Hello, Joseph M. It's my favourite GW game. It also has basically no rerolls. No, but just the other day, a co-worker, I forced them to explain to me how it worked essentially, and he told me, and I was like, oh, okay, fine, cool. It seems like something that I wouldn't mind playing, to be honest. It's almost that halfway house of being this smaller. It's like a large skirmish game, I guess. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. I wouldn't mind playing a game. I don't have any Lord of the Rings models. I don't really like their aesthetic from GW, etc., etc. But yeah, cool. I agree with rerolls. It takes away the Hollywood moment when you can just change what happened with the reroll. Yeah. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't really know enough, right? But somebody has pointed out, and I think it's a fair point, that on a D6 system, to not have rerolls is a little bit challenging, perhaps. Even if you think about Kill Team, where we're working with dice pools, we still kind of need rerolls to make the game work? I don't know. I don't know enough about game design and rerolls and how you could get around that in other ways to not have it just be completely imbalanced. But I don't know. It made sense to me, that's for sure. Patrick Emerson, Assassin expansion. It was a homebrew I enjoyed doing. They need to make it happen. Yeah, so actually, this was one of the things that I thought they totally could have done for the annual. Even if it's narrative, just give us like a Assassin game. Whatever it is, one starts in each corner. And then each person plays one Assassin, or we put our kill team in the center. I don't know, just do something funky with the Assassins, right? Why would they not make us buy £25 individual models? It's a £100 kill team, 4 models. How are they not forcing that down our throats? I liked when GW response to the current meta this week was Eldari. Oh, yeah. Obviously, I posted about that. I watched their little 18-minute video on Warcom, the Meta Watcher, and I just posted my thoughts as I was watching in the Salt Factory channel in my Discord. I didn't really like what they were saying, if I'm going to be honest. I get that they have to be super generic and positive, but there was a lot of doublespeak. It was, yeah, we're really happy with where the game is right now, and then like just below it you can see their stats, where like, what is it, there's 15 models outside of the Goldilocks zone and only 11 in, factions outside and only 11 in, and it's like, why are you saying you're happy with the game? Anyway, whatever. Because by their own definition, the game's not working. Whatever. I like when they came about, yeah. Do I have a real job? I do have a real job. I'm a, 50-50 project manager / technical workbench dude for a material science company. Yeah, so there you go. The £2.50 that I get from ads every week doesn't quite cut the mustard. It's cut the mustard, isn't it? Yeah, the mess holes are horrific. Definitely didn't age well. Agreed. Bolt Action has 0 rerolls. That game is phenomenal. So yeah, interesting. I would happily play. So I'm not super into World War II. It's fine. Like I like Saving Private Ryan. I've listened to the super awesome podcast that's like, hardcore history, whatever it is, 12-hour recap of World War II or whatever. Or one, can't remember. But I don't have like I'm not really that invested. It's fine. It doesn't do much for me though. A tank's a tank, a dude's a dude. I don't care if it's a Sherman or a Tiger or whatever. I am a scientist in a very, very odd technical sense, yes. So the theme of Bolt Action misses me, but then I just get in. I have no doubt it's a better game than 40k, but I suspect that in reality we just come up with the same issue of, so it's a full-scale battle thing, right? But it's a niche game. Yeah, and I've got Kill Team. Every now and again I'll dabble in something else for reasons, but normally it's going to be sci-fi or fantasy because it tickles my brain in other areas of my life. So probably not World War II. Harvey, I assume, have you played Shatterpoint yet, and how's it going if you have? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've played Shatterpoint. I really liked it. Shatterpoint was a very fun game. As I was just kind of alluding to, I don't really have time for other games. I'm quite busy, and from a content creation perspective, there's not really a point of me doing other games, and I'm kind of looking to Mountainside Tabletop and their kind of analytics and their view counts to see how Shatterpoint would do compared to my Kill Team content. It's a shame. I quite like Shatterpoint. I'd love to do a little bit more with it, but I'm actually a little bit pressed for time due to real life issues at the moment. So I can't just do that. And don't get me wrong, part of me would love to just unbox and read out the rules, because that's quite, and like, oh, that's cool. That's going to play well with this and stuff. But that's too in depth for a faction, for a channel that isn't deep into the rules side of Shatterpoint. Really, I can just do kind of big, cool things, which generally means battle reports, and that's a lot of effort. So, I don't know. Difficult one. I will do more Shatterpoint. It's just trying to figure out what and when and how, because there's only one person around me that plays Shatterpoint at the moment, and they don't play it often. So there you go. Right. Chat's chilled out. It's been an hour, so let's go have ourselves a look at BCP. That's right, guys. It's a rules ramble. Woo! Rules. Yay! Right. So I set this for accept their cookies. There we go. What do we care about? So we've got Indianapolis, 10-man. We've got I don't know what this is. Germany, maybe? Again, 10-man. Gen Con, so this is one I don't know what this is. Indianapolis, Gen Con Kill Team Tournament, but it's only 4 players, 3 rounds. So I have no idea what this is. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay. So it would have been a round robin. They all would have played each other. And High Fleet won the 3 games. Okay. I don't really know what's happening there, to be honest. That sounds good. Let's take a look at this. What are we trying to find looking through these BCP pairings? What do you think? Vet Guard, Beast. Legionary, Blooded, Void Dancer, Vet Guard, Pathfinders, Commandos, Breachers. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So that was Indianapolis, but all of those names, I swear, were Spanish. That was weird. And then let's look at this one that I guessed was a German, and it's not loading, so we won't look at that. Good. Right. Superb. Yeah, I guess solid that it just wasn't the one that I thought it was. Could have been just, I suppose, yeah, Chris, could have just been a bunch of dudes that were there. The Ballarat Crucible from Ballarat Central, Vic, Australia. So 12 dudes and dudettes over in Australia. And we've got this in Kiev, which we'll talk about in a sec, and this in Germany. Okay, so we'll go to Australia first. Ah, Commandos, nice. Oh, Broseph Brost. Oh, he's a reg. He's a reg. Gelapox, Commandos, Phobos, Commandos, Ravagers. How are we feeling? Oh, Exaction Squad at the bottom there, lovely. Okay, cool. Right, so this one, I'll talk about this one in a sec. So we'll go to the Germany one. Phobos, Wrecking Face, Hunterclade, okay. It's such a shame that Hunterclade's fallen out of favour. Well, sorry, no, it's a good thing because they're bastards to play against. But, good team. Good team. I'm surprised they've fallen out, is all I'm saying. I guess they're a little bit squishy, maybe. So, if you misplay, you lose some dudes. But cool. Good to see Phobos winning there over in Germany. And then we have this one here from a 16-player tournament from Kiev, Ukraine. Now, I haven't been paying a huge amount of attention, but this is the first one that I've seen that is coming out of Ukraine in a long time. There was one before, but when I went to look at results, there were no results. So I don't know if that means it was cancelled or what. But yeah, 16-player tournament, 6 rounds. Great, just a bunch of guys getting together and making a day of it, right? Or maybe it was a 2-day, who knows? 6 rounds in a single day is a lot of games. This must have been a weekend thing, 2 days. But well, Gelapox first, second, Phobos third. Then we get Intercession, Breachers, Commandos. Oh my god. This was a Gelapox Central over here. And then the Death Guard. This was a heavily Nurgle infested tournament now. Intercession, nice. Corsairs, Hand of the Archon, Breachers, Death Guard, Vet Guard, Legionary Commandos. Cool. Man, I hope you have an answer. If you're in Kiev, I hope you have an answer for Gelapox, is all I can say about that. Gosh, I wouldn't know what to do. I'll get wrecked. Nice. So we're currently looking at the August 5th tournaments, just to clarify. Could have been just some folks at J-Code. Commanders and Vet Guard, men and women of culture, of course. No idea what this is about. Mixed boards? Do you mean about Gelapox? Or there being 6 rounds? Or ooh, we've got a 30 round. This is all last weekend, just to clarify. And another 30 round. Okay. And then Gen Con at 12. I don't know. Let's have a look at the 30s, right? Oh, it's old Wallace, my boy. Commanders, only a 3 round with 30 players? Oh, 24 players, 3 round. Interesting. Okay. I mean, obviously they needed 4 or 5 here, but fair enough. Either way, you have both Commandos and Intercession, both undefeated at the top there. That's fine. I think, very often people get very, very into we need one winner. And that's great, obviously. A 4th round, these two could have faced off against each other, right? But, I don't know, I guess I don't value who comes first, second, third that much. To me, first, second, third, fourth are all basically the same. Like, a couple of dice either way, very close. They're all winners. That's how I view it. That's how I view it. And then we get another 24 players. Okay, interesting. And we get Vet Guard and Chaos Cultists as the two winners there. Oh, Ben from Turning Point Tactics. Good, good. Ryan down at 4th from Turning Point Tactics. Oof. He should really get better at the game, you know. I don't know. He's not a very good player. I've beaten him, and if I've beaten him, not a good player is all I'm saying. There we go. Cool. We will look at Brooklyn Strategists, of course. Travis hosting, good to see. 18 rounds, 18 rounds, Jesus. 18 players, 4 rounds. Oh, doesn't come up with anything. Fair enough. Well, I can't look at that then. A shame. Brooklyn Strategists, if you're over there in, I assume, Brooklyn, New York, go check them out. That's cool. Bunch of good guys. 24 for August 6th. Exaction Squad took first. Well. Collusion, obviously, it's the only answer. 24 players, Exaction Squad took first. So obviously it being 3 rounds isn't great. However, interestingly, he is an undefeated winner because everybody else managed to get a draw. However, most interesting here, second was Chaos Demons. So when I was saying earlier that I just poorly listed off compendium teams that are good, and obviously I said Tyranids and Death Guard. We know Custodes have some game. Chaos Demons. I think there's a lot there with them. Not for me, maybe. Like maybe I don't have the jazz hands to make them work. But I think into certain matchups they're really quite strong. So it's cool to see them up there, second. Very cool. Hearthkin Salvage is third, and this would have been before the buff. So Hearthkin Salvage is OP. I think we can all agree. Ooh, quite a few Wormblade, by which I mean 2. Oh, 3. Oh my gosh. What do the Spanish have about the Wormblade? Are they like super into them? 3 players? Ah, they must have a fetish for them. Ugh, no. That was 0 players. That was misclick. 2, nothing. 2 players. 16? We can look at a 16 player, can't we? Oh, 25. Oh, take a look at that. We've got Germany and Spain. Hyrotech Circle. You love to see it. 16 players, Hyrotech Circle coming first. Now, to me, this makes total sense. I think Hyrotech Circle is super strong, super good. But they don't regularly place particularly well, which is quite interesting. I don't know why. I assume that they are hard countered by like Inquisition or something like that, and so they just, I don't know, doesn't happen. But yeah, good to see Hyrotech Circle actually getting a place there. This is, looking at the names, Kill Team Hooters. Okay. Well, I'm going to guess that was Germany, wasn't it? Okay. Nice. Yes. And now we have the Spanish. Again, 24. So the Spanish are just slamming out these 24-player tournaments, but 3 rounds. Fine, right? So Void Dancers first, nice. Hunter Clade second, good to see the Clade out, very nice. Oh, a bunch of very low-scoring games. Fine. Intercession Hearthkin 5th. Interesting. Again, pre-buff. Man, Felgor Ravagers weren't doing brilliantly, were they? Felgor Ravagers were like really good, but then immediately overshadowed by Chaos Cults. And so I don't know why they're not doing well. It almost feels like everyone that wanted to play Felgor came along and said, oh, Felgor are amazing, I'm going to run them because they're a broken melee team. And then Chaos Cults came out and they said, oh, they're better. And so nobody really got into the hardcore Felgor wrecking, which is quite interesting. Sorry, right, I'm going to scroll up quickly before we get back to this. Right, I'm going to scroll up. Mixed balls, hey, I asked my question before in one of your shorts. Hello, Fabian. Sorry for the delay. If I'm in cover and have an additional rule to retain another successful rule to retain... and have an additional rule to retain another successful save without throwing a dice, and my attacker has AP2, how much? Just the one. So AP2 cover doesn't allow you to retain a dice you don't have. There you go. I imagine that has been answered already, but just confirming it. This, however, is the reason why if you ever have an invuln save and you have the option of retaining for cover, take the invuln save because you get to retain that third dice automatically, assuming you're being shot by AP1. You can still retain on an invuln. Very good, very good. AP overrides any rules. Yep, you can roll your one die if you want to try for a crit save. Yep, if your defense dice is 3 and you can retain an additional, you'll still won't. Yep. Chaos Demons in second. Teams are pretty good. Yeah. You can really quite like swamp the board. I mean, you're a 12 model team with really good melee. Asterisk Volkadlak, double hello to you, good sir. Fabian, thank you. I've learned when I still played MTG that the Spanish are actually pro gamers. Yes, for sure. I mean, we've known for a long time that they've been smashing out Kill Team tournaments. 3 in a day makes total sense. Hammer of Wrath Kill Team tournament, very cool. 14 players, hosted by Dakota Luster. Of course, of Squad Games fame, if you are a podcast man. Oh, is it this one or this one? Right, this is the Leicester tournament, which only has 12, my bad. Commandos, Corsair, Novitiates. Nice. And this... Oh, dear. Oh, this must have... Oh, it's a... Oh, is it not done? Is this playing now? Is this now? Oh, this is now. Oh, so we've caught up. Okay. I guess we're watching this live then. So we've got a bunch of people that haven't put in their factions. Jimmy Kelly, of course, the guy who won KTO with his Custodes. Jeshua Kelly, presumably his child. Dakota with his Vet Guard. Wakamo, Dakota and Wakamo are the guys that actually host Squad Games. Kellen, very good player. I mainly know him from TTS, but he knows what's up. Good to see. Okay, well, we caught up with that. Cool, I guess. All right. Oh, I just realised, sorry. I should have been showing you this. Great stuff, me. So this is actually going on right now, and there's 10 seconds remaining in the round. How about that? How about that? Interesting. Allow me to quickly see what's going on. 41, cool. Right. And the round is done. Amazing. Well, good luck to everybody there that just won and or lost. Nice. All right. Well, everybody, it's been a fun chat. I hope that you have all... Oh, so the original idea for this, by the way, was obviously a rules ramble, which just means I'm not doing anything. I'm just waffling for an hour and a half, whatever it is. Did any of you have rules questions? I realised that obviously we just got asked one. But yeah, rules questions? I'm not the guy to answer them, but I probably can. Like, I just found out the other day I've been playing Relentless. No, not Relentless. What's that? Rending. I've been playing Rending wrong for at least a year. So maybe I'm not the guy to ask about rules. But if anybody does have rules questions, do feel free to ask them now. Otherwise, we can say our goodbyes, I suppose. Rending. Yeah. I had been playing it with every crit converts another dice. So if you roll 2 crits, 2 hits, you actually get 4 crits. But no, it's just if you roll any crits, you can convert 1 hit to a crit. So, and then it's very interesting because I think you end up with that in a sense of, you know, it just would have happened that one of the people in my regular group said, oh no, this is how it works. And then the others just say, oh yeah, okay, cool, I'll believe you. And then that's how that little meta develops of just doing that, of just playing a rule wrong because nobody actually checked. Matt, can Shade Runner use slicing attack while A concealed, B with Eldari agility? Well, let's go find out. Mondragon, are there also double goodbyes? There are triple hellos, which are the same as a double goodbye. If you want to, you know, once you're on the conversion on Forex, once you trade those, they're very, very similar in value. Shade Runner, use slicing attack while A concealed, B with Eldari agility. I think it's been confirmed that it can do the Shade Runner from concealed and Eldari agility with the dash. Let's go find out, shall we? Let's shrink myself so that we can all have a read, okay? We're all going to learn together. We're going to go to kt-app, and we're going to go to, where's the Eldari? Corsair. And we're going to go to the Shade Runner. No notes. Right, slicing attack. Perform a free normal move action with this operative. Okay. Select one enemy operative. This operative moved within a game from range. So no. There you go. You have to perform this slicing attack action, which is giving you a normal move, essentially. And it's only within that normal move that you are allowed to do the slicing attack. You can't do it as part of your Eldari Raiders thing. Yeah. Easy. And can it do it from concealed? I'm 100% sure the answer is yes. And by 100% sure, I mean like 20% sure. So let's read. Select one enemy operative in game range of doing that move, or one attack dice. Strike that enemy? Yes. Because you're not performing a charge action or a shoot action, and those are the only things that a concealed token stop. So it's easy peasy. Easy one, lads. Easy one. If anybody wants to tell me I'm wrong, feel free. Hello, goodbye, Kit Bash. That's right. I like to proxy my goodbye as a triple hello. Yeah. I think the Beatles really went to talk about that. I don't know. Any synergies for Sky Splinter Assassin and Hota? Weird rules. Yeah. +1 to normal move and dash strap ploy can only be done without a... I mean, the +1 to normal move and dash strap ploy that can only be done without a fight or shoot. Was I reading the wrong thing? +1 to normal move and dash strat ploy can only be done without a fight or shoot. You're not performing a fight or a shoot action when you do the slicing attack, if that helps you. Eldari agility, right, okay. Let's go back to KT dash. Ploys. Eldari agility. Until the end of the turn, anytime a friendly Corsair Void Guard operative is activated, it can use its Eldari agility. If it does so, it cannot perform a fight or shoot action during that activation, but each time it performs a dash, fall back, a normal move action during this action, it can be... So, You would gain the extra inch, that's for sure, when doing slicing attack. However, cannot perform a shoot or fight action. Let's say if you are doing a shoot or fight action with the Shade Runner. A free normal move, cool. So one enemy operative this operative is engaged with doing roll one attack die as if it is operative, is as if the operative is fighting in combat. Yeah, you can do it. You're not performing an attack action. I understand that you might think there's more to that rule, but no part of you is performing the attack action or the shoot action. But you are performing a normal move. There you go. You know, GW is sometimes a little bit wishy-washy with their rules, but this one seems pretty clear to me. Feel free to push back, and obviously I could be wrong, and actually it's something completely different. You never know. You never know. Yeah. Easy peasy. Any synergies for Sky Splinter, Assassin, and Hota, Weird? So, Zach, my boy, no. You're still always going to take it because Omen is really good and you don't really have like a better option. I think it's a piece that you have to learn how to play, if I'm honest. I don't get Hand of the Archon. There. That's another thing to keep in mind. They're not really my thing. I don't really understand why they're good, but they are good in certain players' hands. So yeah, there you go. I'm not the one to go to for Hand of the Archon tips. Firstly, I've not played them. Oh, sorry, I played them once, but like not properly. So yeah, I just know that Omen is good. So, and then they have an indirect, but it does almost nothing, but it's fine. Cool. If you use Hearthkin Excavation Machine to move a piece of terrain, can you rotate it or must it keep... So, just from what you've said there, is this a narrative rule? Because if so, the answer's do whatever you want, right? I mean, that's yeah. It's narrative. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do whatever you want. Well-made, high fleet, recover. Hearthkin salvages under Imperium. KT dash. Shame on you, sirs. So I supply. Do you mean excavation tool? It's called as excavation machinery, right? So I don't see anything called excavation machinery. And that excavation tool doesn't do anything about moving terrain. Spec Ops, strategic asset. Okay. So it's not here. I'm not quite sure where KT Dash would put that if it's not under equipment, to be honest. Okay. Let's just make sure I'm not being silly. I'm learning to use KT Dash instead of Wikipedia, but sometimes KT Dash isn't super... Like now, I'm sure it was somewhere in KT Dash, but I can't find it. At the end of the scouting step, if you are the defender or selected the fortify option, you can move one terrain feature within 3 inches of your drop zone that does not include any parts with a heavy trait up to 3 inches. Okay? And your question was? Use cartoon to move the terrain. Can you rotate it or must it keep the same orientation? So the way this is typically done is that you would select a point. And here we go. Let's go over to, what are we looking at? Dice cam. Here we go. Where's this? Right. So, Warcry, Iron Golem's best warband. Good to know. Which model do I have to buy 10 of to make work? So, you're probably thinking of a move of 3 being that, and then you pick it up and you move it like that, right? However, if you're moving any piece of the terrain, a pivot, let's say if you're pivoting around this corner here, and you're doing, goddamn, right, and you're doing that, that is also a 3-inch move, okay? Does that perhaps explain it to you? So you cannot do that because you've just moved it, you know, like 8 inches or something. That is how I would say that rule works. So you can move the whole thing 3 inches. Essentially, you are picking a point and you are moving that single point 3 inches. And it's just whether you want to take the rest of the terrain with it or not. I would not say you could flip this around. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, that would be how I would rule it if I had to rule a narrative rule in a tournament for some reason. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Without pivot, I think it is pretty useless, wasted. Without, yes. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching. You know, I'm just trying to do this every Sunday or every other Sunday sometimes because it's a good way to chill out and I just get to have a ramble about some stuff that I then sometimes have said, sometimes haven't, I don't know. It's good to get it all out there. Next week, I will attempt to do something else. But ultimately, you can still just come along and, oh, well, next week we'll have the annual, won't we? That'll be disappointing. Don't know what to say about it, really. But cool. So, hey, if you made it to the end of this live stream, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. I almost said circle hello. Yeah. Evolving Pokemons is super fun. No doubt, no doubt. So, hey, a like, a subscribe, a comment, all that good stuff. Super helpful. My patrons have already seen my next video for Monday or Tuesday, whenever I decide to release it. Top 7 Alpha Strikes in the game. I think I did a good job of that Alpha Strike video, if I'm honest. So by all means, wait for that. And then at some point this week, I'll probably also finally release the terrain video that I recorded a month ago on a live stream for all of you. So a little bit of a more quiet week this week. So yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. It's been fun to hang out and chat. Kill team. Rock on, stay hydrated, stay gangster, and goodbye.